Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. Thank you so much for registering to join the orientation webinar. I'm joined here by all the course instructors. We'll be taking you through different aspects of the course over the next 5 weeks. And in today's orientation webinar, we will look at how to access the course, how to access the course content. We will guide you through how to download materials. We'll take you through how to join these different webinars. We'll talk about the Telegram group. So all these are the things that we've lined up for this orientation webinar. And to start off, we are going to look at the course overview so that we just understand a little bit more about what the CTT course is about. So some of you may have joined us during previous offers of the CTT course. For this particular offer, we have revised the course content and we have added an extra week. And so for this particular offer, we'll have 5 weeks of the course. And I'll look at the different course topics in a few short minutes. But for now, let's look at how to access the course content on MOOCit. So I will quickly share my screen and then we'll begin that. Should you have any question during the course of the orientation webinar, please put it under the Q&A section and one of the course instructors will either be able to answer you in the Q&A itself or we'll answer live at the end of the orientation webinar. So feel free to ask your questions or even interact in the chat. I can see a lot of us are sharing things in the chat. That is very welcome. Please feel free to interact. And also the webinar will be recorded and will be shared with you over the course of the next week or before the end of this week. So that will be shared as well so that you are able to access it after this. So let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen? All right, so once you go to the mooc4dev.org website, which is where our course is hosted, one of the instructors should be able to post a link on the chat so that people know exactly what I'm talking about, because I'm not able to access the chat right now. So once you go onto this website, you are able to access all the courses that are being hosted by Cole right now. And to do that, you do need to sign in. And so right at the top, you'll be able to click on sign in and you enter the credentials you use to sign up for this course so that you are able to log in into the platform. So once you sign up, you click on courses and you'll be able to see all the other courses that are being offered right now. So of interest to us right now is cybersecurity training for teachers. And so once you click on this course, you'll be able to access the course content. Since I'm an instructor, I have more privileges on the course, but for you, you'll be able to access the course content from this platform. So that is how you access the course platform. And on the webpage itself, you're also able to see a description of the course. You're able to watch an introduction of the course, which describes what will be covered in the 5 weeks of the course. And you can also see the different course content. For example, in week 1, we'll be introducing you to cybersecurity. Most of you have already started interacting with the course content and you already know some of the things that we talk about in introduction to cybersecurity. And then in week 2, we will look at different cyber threats. And for this, you'll be looking at threats such as malware, identity theft, and social engineering. You'll also look at different case studies for these cyber attacks. And then in week 3, you will talk about defending against cyber threats. And in this, that is where you will learn about all the different cybersecurity measures and recommendations that you can use to protect yourself against cyber threats. And then in week 4 and week 5, it is when we will really contextualize the content for learning institutions. And so for week 4, you'll be talking about how to secure online learning platforms. And lastly, in week 5, you will look at cyber safety for students. So this is the structure of the course, and we'll be publishing new content every week on Fridays, so that you can be able to utilize your weekends to learn, because that is majority of people, that is when they have free time to be able to engage with the course. So content will be posted every Friday. So that is the structure of the course. So once you have logged in, you can click on access course, and that is when you'll be able to access the course materials. So since we mentioned that the course is structured in 5 weeks, across the 5 weeks, you will start to see new content being published on this platform. So week 1 is already live. Friday this week, you will see week 2 as well. So now let's go through the MOOCit platform and the different aspects that you will be utilizing to go through this course. So the course content is shared on the main course home. And so when you click on week 0 is a platform that we've created so that you're able to introduce yourself to this platform if you've not used it before. So there's a video here, a very short video on how to use MOOCit. Should you want a quick reference guide on how to use the MOOCit platform, you can watch this quick video and it will show you the different aspects of the platform as well. And then we also have content on the Telegram group. Most of you joined the Telegram group through this particular document, but an announcement was also made to you so that you were able to join the Telegram group. And then we also have a section for pre-course survey, which we encourage you to fill even though the course has already started. And then, so that is all for week 0. For week 1, you can see the course content that has already been published. So you will be learning through lectures, forums, and an infographic. And at the end, you'll have a module assessment. So all the course content will be published under the specific week. So for example, if you want to know the activities that are in this particular week, when you come to welcome to week 1, it will give you a downloadable PDF that gives you a description of all the activities that are in this week. So to download course materials, as you can see, there's no video for this lecture. However, there's a file that has been uploaded for you. So when you see this icon right here, it means there's a file that is available that you can download. So when you click on it, you're able to see welcome to week 1, and it describes the activities for that specific week. So let's go back to our platform. So since we've talked about welcome to week 1, let's talk about how to download other specific lecture materials. So in this week, there are 3 lectures. So for example, we have Introduction to Cyberspace, and this is another lecture that does not have a video. However, it does have downloadable materials. And so we have Introduction to Cyberspace. This is an article. And then we also have slides that you can also download to see a brief summary of the entire lecture. So these are materials that you can download. When you click on it, when you click on any of the links, it takes you to the article for that entire lecture. So for example, this is the content that you have to go through for the cyberspace article. You can also be able to download it through, once you open it, you can download it through this button right here. So you'll be able to have it for offline use. Now for lectures that have videos, let me show you one that has a video. The Introduction to Cybersecurity lecture has a video. And so when you click on it, you'll be able to see a YouTube video that has been embedded on the platform itself. So when you click on play, you'll be able to engage with that particular video and watch it until the end. So sometimes we usually, you might want to see captions for what the instructor is saying. And so right at the bottom, you're able to see the button for CC, which is closed captions. When you click on it, you're able to enable closed captions for that particular video. The other thing that you might want to do is maybe slow down or speed up the video speed. This is because sometimes maybe the instructor speaks very fast and maybe English is not your primary, your first language, and you might want for you to engage with the content at a slower speed. And so when you click on the gear, which is on the gear button here, which is the settings button, you can be able to click on playback speed, and you can change this to either slower or faster if you want the speaker or the instructor to speak faster. So that is how you're able to enable closed captions, and now you also you can change the playback speed. The other thing is that for all these videos, and the lecture videos, you also have accompanying materials for it in case that you're not able to watch the entire video and you still want to download materials for offline purposes. Then the same gear, the same PDF icon or file icon will be hosting all the accompanying materials for that specific lecture. So when you click on it, again, you're able to see the write-up, which is the introduction to cybersecurity, and then you'll be able to see the slides as well as a transcript for all these, for all the lectures that have a video. So you'll be able to download these materials the way we've looked at. So just click on the link. When you click on it, it opens on a different tab, and you're able to go through the material and also download the materials for offline use. So that is how you engage with the content within our platform. The other thing you'll need to do is do a module assessment. And for module assessments, when you click on it, it will give you a brief description of what this module assessment will be testing. And it will tell you that multiple attempts are allowed. And so that means that you can do this particular quiz a few times so that you can improve your score. As you can see, our grading method is the highest grade. So if in your first try you get, let's say, 70%, and in your second try you get 80 or 90%, then our platform will be able to pick the highest score of the 2 attempts. And then you'll also always see the passing, the certificate criteria here. So for this will be talked about later on as we continue with the orientation webinar. So all quizzes will have these details so that you always know what is required of you. So back to our course home. In every week, you'll also be required to do an activity or activities depending on the module. So for week 1, we have an activity that is called activity 1A. And these activities are based on things that you have learned during the course. And so we do encourage you to go through the course material and then go do the various activities, because then you'll have understood what the activity is testing on. And so in week 1, under the CIA triad, there's an activity on password protecting a document. And so how to access these activities will be through our forums right here. So on the side, when you click on forums, you'll be able to see different activities that have been posted for you. To know that this is an activity that you should participate in, you will see that it has a pinned button, right, a red one right on the side. And this means that this is an activity that was created by the course instructors, and you should engage with it and contribute to it. So for example, so far we have 2, which is introduce yourself. And I can see that 181 of you have responded to it, and you've introduced yourself to the rest of the course participants. So if you haven't already, please go to the to forums and introduce yourself there. Tell us where you're from, where you're joining us from, and also let us know what are your learning expectations for this particular course. And that way you're also able to reflect on the things you expect to learn during the course. And at the end, you can also evaluate whether you learned those things. And through the surveys that we'll be sending to you at the end of the course, you can let us know whether we met your expectations or not. And if we did not, you can also suggest other things that you might have wanted to see in the course. So the other activity is, for now, is activity 1A, but when we get to week 2, you'll also see other activities being posted here. Again, you'll be able to see the pin icon, and that shows that that is an activity that you should contribute to, because it is something that is related to your course content. So when you click on the activity, you will see that you get guidelines on how to do that particular activity and how to respond. And so in this particular activity, there's a guide that has been prepared for you so that you can use the guide to complete the activity. And after you've completed the activity, then you're able to answer the questions or share whatever the activity directs you to share. And then you click on post response and you type in your response here, answering the questions that were posed through the activity. So for example, in this particular activity, it asks you whether you are able to password protect a document. So the answer could be yes or even no. So for example, say I was not able to do this because, let's say, I do not have access to Microsoft Office, or I faced this and this challenge. This will allow us to also be able to support you in terms of the challenges you're facing with the different activities that we have in the course. So after you've recorded your response here, you click on submit, and your response will show here. As you can see, there are very many people who have already attempted this activity, and they've shared their responses to the activity. So the course activities will all be hosted under course forums. So when you click on forums, you should be able to see the activities right there. So I've spoken about different guides that will be available to guide you through the different activities. And so those guides will also be hosted under resources. So when you click on resources, you can see so far we have activity 1A. When you click on it, it opens on a new tab and it shows you the entire activity and what to do, with different steps as well. Again, you can download this resource for offline purposes. So you download using the download button right here. So those are resources. As we publish more resources, you will see under week 2, you will see different resources, week 3, and so on and so forth. So all of them will be housed under this particular platform. Then the other thing that is very important is the course announcements. So the course announcements will give you information around what is going on with the course, and it will give you updates on when new course materials are published or any other activities that you may need to do. For example, when we need you to fill in a course survey, we will share it as an announcement. When we need you to register for a webinar, we'll also share it as an announcement. So for example, if you click on welcome to the CTT course announcement, you'll be able to see the guidelines for learning during this course. So if you don't want to go through your emails, because these announcements are also shared to your email, and you don't want to look through, all the things in your email to look through to find this particular announcement, you can just come onto the platform and you'll be able to see all the announcements that we have made so far. All the webinar announcements will be made, and so please watch out for those ones, because you'll be able to register for those webinars. We'll have weekly webinars on Thursdays, and this webinar mainly complements it mainly complements what has already been taught during that particular week. So we encourage you to have interacted with the course content so that by the time we get to the webinar, we're just reiterating and making sure that you retain this information. So please go through the course content, and then on Thursdays, we'll have guest speakers take us through additional things under that specific week's theme, so that just to complement the course content and to give you more information and resources to use for the course. The last thing that I would like to talk about is checking your progress within the course. Since we are giving a certificate at the end of the course, I'm sure you would want to be able to track what you have done and what you haven't done yet. And so to do this, you come and click on My Profile. So when you click on My Profile, you're able to see all the details of your platform, of your account, and you're able to see a summary of the things that you've done. You've watched 2 videos, there's 1 video that you're still watching. That means that you've not completed that video yet. It means it's still incomplete. It tells you the topics you've created, that is, if you've created any new forum. And for comments posted, it gives you information on people you have responded to. So you might find that an instructor or even a fellow participant has created a forum, and you want to respond to them, and so those that will count as a comment. So those will be the comments posted. So to see the progress details, you click on the plus sign right here to be able to see what you have done and what you haven't done yet. So when you click on our lecture and download the course materials, it goes from being blank like this, the way it's red, to being green. So as you can see, I've interacted with, I have downloaded the Welcome to Week 1 resource. I have also downloaded the Introduction to Cybersecurity resource and gone through it. So once you do something, it turns from red to green, and that means you've completed that specific aspect of the week. And it will also tell you progress at 100%. So for example, I mentioned that in my summary, there's a video that I'm still watching. So it means that, as you can see here, Introduction to Cybersecurity, I have not finished that video yet. It says that I'm at 13%. So what I need to go do is go to Introduction to Cybersecurity, which I can click on right there from my from my progress details, and be able to go to that particular topic and be able to finish watching the video. So that is how you check your progress. You can also see the forums that you have created and what you have contributed to. For example, being an instructor, I've created the Introduce Yourself forum, and I've also created the Activity 1A. When I contribute to other forums that the participants have created, then it should be able to show here what that I have contributed to specific topics. So that when you click on your profile, that is what you'll be able to see. And I think I have talked about all the aspects of navigating the platform. And one last thing is that this platform is also available on iOS as a mobile application. It's not available right now for Android users, but if you're using iOS, you can be able to download MOOC for Dev app, and you're able to access the course there as well. The process is very similar to this as well. So just navigate through the different buttons and you'll be able to access the course content. So now I'll hand it over to Malusi to take us through the next part of the webinar.
Thank you, Patricia. Nice to meet all of you. It's a very big number, which is very exciting. My name is Malusi, and I will be your instructor for week 3. And in the next couple of minutes, we'll talk about the certification criteria as well as the Telegram group. So we'll look a little bit into the Telegram group as well. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the certification criteria. So at the end of the course, which is at the end of the next 5 weeks, you should be eligible for either a certification of completion or a certification of participation. So the criteria for attaining a certificate of completion is you need to get at least 60% in 3 modules. So we have 5 modules. Out of the 5, if you get 60% in 3, you are eligible for a certificate of completion. To attain a certificate of participation, it's the same criteria, just that you need to attain 50%. So what that means is if you get between 50 and 59, you're only eligible for a certificate of participation and not a certificate of completion. Just to clarify, I will repeat it again. So you are eligible for either a certificate of completion or a certificate of participation. To get a certificate of completion, you need to attain at least 60% in 3 modules. So in 3 of the 5 modules, you get 60%. So this 60% is from your module assessments, yeah? And then to get a certificate of participation, you need to get at least 50% of 3 of the 5 modules. I hope that's clear. So if there's any question, please put it in the chat, and we're always happy to help with that response. One more thing I've seen a few questions about on the Q&A. There's no other necessary requirements for getting the certificates. So you're not necessarily required to participate in the forums, although it is very, very encouraged that you do, because it allows for peer exchange. It allows for us to exchange knowledge with each other, learn from each other. So it's very encouraged, although it's not a primary thing that we look for when we are issuing out certificates. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Telegram group. I think I checked maybe 5 minutes ago, and we are about 405 members, which also again is very exciting. So we are very grateful for joining our Telegram group. And the purpose of this Telegram group is for us to exchange knowledge with each other, meet new people within the same space, within the same education sector, learn from each other. If you have any questions about the course, it's a very easy way for us as instructors to meet your needs, to answer your questions regarding the course, the coursework itself, to make any announcements, any quick announcements that are not made either by mail or on the platform itself, on Mookit. On Mookit, sorry. So it's a very good space. So I think one of the instructors should be able to put a link for anyone who has joined the webinar but has not joined the Telegram group. So they put a link on the chat, and you can just click it and join it. So if you have any trouble joining, we're always happy to help you. You can put your questions in the Q&A, and we should be able to help you join the Telegram group. So with regard to the Telegram group, as you are well aware, it's a very global multicultural group that we have right now, and the group was created primarily for the purposes of this course. So we're using the group to communicate with each other regarding cybersecurity training for teachers for this particular cohort. So I want to encourage you to use that Telegram group to communicate only about that subject matter and to ask questions about that subject matter. We have instructions on what is expected of you when you join the Telegram group. So we expect you to be kind to each other and not politicize the group or add anything to the group or behave in a manner that's not worthy of who you are. And we believe that you're very wonderful people. So we have a list of expectations that we have of you. To access it, I think it's either it was sent on your email, and it's also part of the announcements on week 0. So from there you should get, number 1, the link to the Telegram group, although it has also been posted on the chat, and also the rules, the conduct, the rules of engagements within the Telegram group. If you have any questions about the Telegram group, please put it in the chat, and we'll be able to, in the Q&A section, and we should be able to respond to you. But I think that's it from me. I hope I was clear, and as always happy to help if you have any questions. So I will pass it on to Linda to continue with the webinar, to continue with the orientation.
Thank you so much, Malusi. Hello, everyone. I believe we are all well. In this moment, I'm going to talk about converting the local time to GMT, or rather GMT to local time, because the webinars are posted in GMT time Also, I will talk about how you can easily navigate the Zoom platform. I will discuss how you can access the webinar recordings on YouTube and Dropbox. And also, I will finish by discussing how you can add the webinars on your calendars. For starters, I'm going to join converting, time conversion, and also adding the webinar on your calendar under joining the webinars, because it comes as a package. As you join the webinar, you will also be converting it to your local time and also adding it to your calendar. So I'm going to combine those aspects into one. When you're joining our webinars, once you're registered for this course, you will always be getting emails about announcements, emails on announcements, or any activity that is taking place that is on your email, or rather on the Telegram group. So once you get that link, you register for the webinar, and I'm going to do a demo. I'm going to share my screen on how you can register for that webinar. I'll just share my screen. So I believe you can all see my screen. Trying to maximize this. All right, I will go a bit back. So you'll be getting such a link on your Telegram group. Once you click on that link, it will open a page like this. Then you scroll down, you register for the webinar. You put in your 2 names. I have already inserted my names. Then you also input your email address. Then you click on register and join. Once you click on that button, it will open another page where it will tell you that you have been invited. Okay, for this instance, I'm a panelist, but you are a participant. So you go to your email address, you go to your email to access the webinar, the link for the webinar. So I'll just go straight to my email. On my email, you see there is a prompt that has been sent. So you click on it. And sorry, I'm coughing, so my voice might be a bit rough. So once you go to your email, just before you go to your email, sorry, I forgot about this. Here, once you have registered for your webinar, here you will see the time. You will see the time when the webinar is starting, and this is converted into your local time automatically. So you do not need to use web applications to convert GMT to your local time, because once you register for the webinar, you'll be able to see the local time. As you see on my scenario, in my case, it has given me my local time as 7 p.m. Where I am, it's 7 p.m. I think with a few minutes. Then now, as you go to your email here, on that prompt that has been sent by Zoom, here is where you add the email to your calendar, so that the webinar to your calendar, so that you can get the prompts, or rather you can mark your calendar and schedule your plan, your work of the day or the week. So you choose the calendar that you're using. You can use Google Calendar, Outlook, or Yahoo. In this case, I'll choose the Outlook calendar. Now we just give it a few minutes. It opens, and this event has already started. It even gives you the link to join, and it shows you that it shows you the local time. For me, it's EAT, 19 hours EAT. So this is just how you convert and add the webinars on the Google Calendar. So if you have any question, you can post it in the chat. I will address it if I've not been clear with you. Or if you want another alternative of how you can convert your time, you can use the online tools. We have some tools like, I'm trying to, there's some online softwares, or rather tools. There is this tool called Time. You can even just search for convert GMT to local time. Then there are several tools, or rather platforms. For this case, we can use the Time B. You just click on it and paste here, or rather type here the GMT time. If it's 4 p.m. Sorry. So, or rather, you can choose from down here. Let's say if it's 4 p.m. if the webinar is happening, taking place at 4 p.m. GMT, you just click on it. Then it shows you. It converts the time for you. It will show you for EAT, that is 7 p.m. and that is my local time. Okay, I think that is done. So now, how do we now navigate through our the Zoom platform during the webinars? As I've started, once you register for the let me stop sharing. Once you register for the email, you'll have a link for the webinar. So you just click on that link, and as everyone can see on their webinar, on this webinar, we have several widgets, or rather, I don't know. Yeah, let me just call them widgets down here on your Zoom platform. We have the mute, we have the video, you can see the participants, you can share your screen, and depending on your role, if you are a panelist, you can share your screen and your video can be seen. But if you're a participant, you will find that you are on mute. You're not able to share your video. But whatever you're supposed to do, you're supposed to post your Q&A, and also you can chat with other people on the platform. Down here, you can see the Q&A. You can write. You can post your Q&A there. And also the chats. Yes, in the chats, you can post something on the chat, whether it's a question, it's a comment, or a clarification that you need. And I believe that is done with registering, with converting time, and also with adding your webinar on the calendar. So now the last thing that I want to talk about is accessing your recordings. So now, after every webinar, there is an announcement that is sent. On that announcement, it will have a link of the webinar recording. So once you click on that link that is shared, you'll be taken directly to the Dropbox or to the YouTube account. So to the YouTube channel, the CTT4 YouTube channel. So now here you click on the webinar recording that you want. You can select what you want to download. Then you just click download. It starts downloading. This is good when you want to watch your recordings offline. But if you want to do it online, you can just use YouTube. I believe that is clear enough. As I said earlier, if you have any question, kindly post it. And now I invite Sylvia to take over.
Good evening. Hope you can hear me. My name is Sylvia Kirago, and I'll be taking you through week 5 on cyber safety for students. But for now, my only reminder is to remind you to ensure that you take the pre-course survey. And let me send you the link on the chat and show you where you can get the survey on the Mookit platform. So not sure if you can see my screen. You can see my screen? Okay, so so you'll come on the Mookit platform, you'll come under announcements, and under announcements you'll find the latest is, the first announcement was the pre-course survey, and there is the link, and let me add the link to the chat. So this survey is going to help us to have an idea of what expectations you have for the course and what you're hoping to learn by the end of the course, and what we can add to the course. And as you can see on this page, here is where you get the pre-course survey. Also on the comment section, I have seen someone on the Q&A section, I've seen someone ask something about are we going to learn about online games and games that can be used by people between the age of 18 to 28. We are going to cover that under my course, but one that I can show you right now is it's called Digital Safety. You can go check it out. It's a really interesting game if you are yeah, so this is the game. The person who was asking about a game that they would want to be referred to a game, here is the game that you can go check out. It's really interesting. It has really interesting content that you can learn. It's called Digital Safety. So yeah, that's it for me. I hope we've all understood.
All right, thank you, Sylvia. I've also shared the link. I've also shared the link to the game that you just shared on the chat. So we can briefly take some few questions because we do have some additional time. And so some of the questions that have been asked are pertaining the webinars. As I mentioned in the introduction, the webinars complement the course content. And so you are not required to join each and every webinar, but we do recommend that you do, because it is a way of learning live and also complementing the course content that you'll have gone through. And it is also an opportunity to ask questions from our guest speakers, and you'll be able to gain a little bit more from the course. The other thing is questions on the Telegram group. It is also not a requirement to join the Telegram group, but should you want to join, it is a really an amazing space where participants get to ask their questions and receive answers very easily from other participants, as well as from the course instructors as well. So if that is a space that you would want to do, please download Telegram for those who do not have it. I've also seen questions around how to access the group. So you must have Telegram downloaded on your device, and then you're able to register your account, and it works very similarly with WhatsApp. It's like very similar to WhatsApp or Signal. It's just that it really allows for large group numbers, which is very favorable for us, especially for this course. As you can see, we're already at 400 people, more than 400 people in this webinar alone. And so we require a platform that allows for a lot of participants. And so that is why we chose Telegram. It is very, very similar to WhatsApp. And so once you download it, it will be very, very easy to acclimatize yourself with the platform and to be able to use it. So once you've downloaded, then you click on the link that we've shared with you to join the Telegram group. The link again is available on the course platform, which is MOOC for Dev, the one that I demoed in the beginning of this, in the beginning of the webinar. You should be able to find the link to the group under week 0. So let me look at any other questions that that have been asked in the Q&A. Someone asks how they can download the app. I believe it is on the Apple Store. You should be able to download it from there. And otherwise, we do recommend accessing the course from your favorite browser. Yes, Sylvia, and then Malusi.
Nancy, in the comments, someone is asking what was the digital safety game for. There was a question on a recommendation of a game that they could look out for. So that's why I've given out that digital safety game. Yeah, you can check it out. I hope they understand each other.
All right, so I'll have a few things to say about the certificates. I've seen a few questions about the certification criteria. If you get between 0 to 40%, you're not eligible for any certificates. If you get above 50% for all the module, so the certifications are judged against the module assessments. So sometimes you can hear instructors say quizzes, but what we mean is essentially the module assessment. So every module, so we have 5 modules, so all those 5 modules have a module assessment. So if you get 50% for 3 of the 5 modules, you are eligible for a certificate of participation. But if you get 60% and above for 3 of the 5 modules, you are eligible for a certificate of completion. So you're only eligible for 1 certificate. That is if you make it above 50%. So what that means is if you get between 50 to 59%, you're only eligible for the certificate of participation. Another thing that I wanted to mention is this recording will be shared. I've seen some of you ask questions about things that Patricia had mentioned at the beginning of the session. So you might have joined a little bit late and you might have not been able to see how to access the module assessments or the quizzes or any other thing. So this webinar will be shared with you after. So in case you missed anything, do not worry, you'll have access to this module as well. Yes, I think that's it from me.
All right, thank you, Malusi, for that. We still do have some more time. And so let's look at any other questions we might be able to address. There's a question on whether the games are also compulsory. No, that is just a resource that was shared if you do want to teach other people digital security, and it is a nice interactive way to be able to do that. For those who will not be able to make the webinars, as Linda demoed for you, you'll be able to receive an announcement with a link to the recording. You can either download it on Dropbox or you can watch it on YouTube directly. So for example, if you do not have a steady internet connection, you can download the webinar recording to your device and watch later on. But if you do have a stable internet connection, then you can just watch directly on YouTube. All webinars will be recorded as well. There's a question on the certificates, on whether there's any payment to be made. This course is absolutely free. It is being offered with support from the Commonwealth of Learning, and so there's no payment at all for the course, for participation in the course. You'll also be able to participate in the entire content for free. the course instructors have tried as much as possible to provide tools and recommendations that do not require any monetary investment from your side. So feel free to interact with our course as well. And for all the assessments, we will have multiple attempts for them. And you can also check, you can also be able to check your progress for the assessments through your profile. So the same way we demoed on how to look at your forums, your lecture participation, you're also able to do the very same thing for assessments. So let me actually share my screen and show that just very quickly. So as you can see here, when you click on my profile, you can see progress summary, and then under progress details, you're able to see week 0, week 1, and assessments. So when we have a week 2 assessment, it will show right here, and week 3, week 4, all that, they will all be under assessments, and you'll be able to see your scores. And so you'll also be able to determine whether you are eligible for the certificates that we've spoken about as well. So if you see that there are modules that you've scored below 50% or below 60% and you're aiming for a certificate of completion, then you can be able to redo those particular modules so that you can improve your score. Any other instructor who wants to answer a few questions before we finish? Yes, Malusi.
I think it's something that has been asked a lot in the chat and in the Q&A section as well. So MOOC, the MOOC for Dev platform also has an application available on your Android or on your iPhone if you're using iPhone. So if you want to access the course on your phone, on the go, you should be able to access it on your phone as an application itself. So the application is called, I think, MOOC for Development. I think that's the name. If any of the instructors finds the name to it, they should be able to put it, but I think it's something like MOOC for Development on both Android and iPhone. So this is for anyone who wants to access the course on their phone. But we encourage you to do it on your computer because sometimes the phone, it takes longer to load and there might be some issues with a few small things. So we encourage you to do it entirely on your laptop or on your computer. That's it for me.
Yes, Linda, you can go.
Patricia, before you end the session, I saw someone asking whether there's still time for registration. Maybe you can just tell them when is the deadline. Registration for the course.
Right now, the course is still open for registration. We will close it in 2 weeks so that everyone can learn at the same pace and at the same time. So registration will be open for the next 2 weeks because we believe within the next 2 weeks, any new participant will be able to catch up with all the course content that has been posted. But once we get to week 3 or week 4, then they're not able to complete all the course requirements before the end of the course. So it will remain open for the next 2 weeks, and then registration will be closed. So if you do have people in your life that you believe would benefit from this particular course, please share it with them. Share the course link, which has been shared extensively on the chat. Let me share it again so that you know the course that we are talking about. And you will be able to register and enroll for it within the next 2 weeks. So please do share it widely. I have shared in the wrong place. Sorry, give me a second. There you go. So that is where you access the course. So share the link with your colleagues, with your friends, and they will be able to register for the course. So we will end it here. Just one last quick thing. I saw people asking about when the certificates will be available, and the certificates will be available after the 5 weeks. And then after the course has been completed fully for the 5 weeks, then we will send you another announcement that shows that the certificates have been processed and released, and you should be able to access the certificates on the MOOC for Dev platform as well. So an announcement will be made, and you'll be given the process of how to get your certificate. So please enjoy the course, enjoy the course materials that we've prepared for you, enjoy the interactions you will have with your fellow colleagues. It is a good time to learn about cybersecurity, ask your questions, anything that that you may not understand during the week, please ask on the different platforms. You can ask through the Telegram group, you can ask through email. Our email is ctt@callfinder.org. Let me add that to the chat as well. So if you do have any challenges that you face, you can also send an email to us, and we'll be able to respond to you as well. So all these are avenues that you can use to reach out to your instructor. You can use the Telegram group, you can use email, you can use the webinars that we'll have every week. So please enjoy learning. It's very self-paced. You get to learn at your own pace, at your own convenience throughout the entire 5 weeks. So thank you very much for joining us today, and we will see you on Thursday for the week 1 webinar. We will share the registration information shortly after this orientation. Enjoy the rest of your day, and thank you for joining us.